Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are viewing from in the world. Welcome to the Silent Forgotten. I'm your host, Chris, and today I will be sharing with you the life story of and visiting the final resting place of the professional hockey player and amateur hockey player William Harold Baldy Cotton, November 5th, 1902 to September 9th, 1984. William Harold Baldy Cotton was a Canadian professional ice hockey player who played the position of left wing in 12 professional seasons in the National Hockey League, or NHL, for the Pittsburgh Pirates from 1925 to 1929, the Toronto Maple Leafs from 1928 to 1935, and the New York Americans from 1935 to 1937. He earned his nickname Baldy because he was prematurely bald. He was born one of three children to Thomas Herbert Cotton, 1873 to 1947, and his wife Ellen Nellie Avison Cotton, 1872 to 1958, on November 5th, 1902, in Nanticoke, Ontario, Canada. His siblings included Helen Margaret Cotton, 1906 to 1974, and Dorothy Avison Cotton, 1908 to 1999. His hockey career began in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, after moving there to attend the prestigious Duquesne University. In 1925, he began playing for the Pittsburgh Yellow Jackets of the United States Amateur Hockey Association, or USAHA, while attending school. He would later sign with the National Hockey League, or NHL's, Pittsburgh Pirates, playing with the club for parts of 4 seasons. He was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the middle of the 1928 to 1929 hockey season and would record a record high of 38 points the following year in his first full season with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He won his only Stanley Cup playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs from 1931 to 1932. He was sold to the New York Americans, where he played for 2 more seasons until his retirement from hockey in 1937. His awards and achievements include becoming a member of the winning Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup championship team from 1931 to 1932, and playing in the Ace Bailey benefit game from 1933 to 1934. Some highlights of his hockey career include being signed as a free agent by the Pittsburgh Pirates on September 26, 1925, being traded by the Pittsburgh Pirates to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Gerry Lowrey and $9,500 cash on February 12, 1929, and being sold by the Toronto Maple Leafs to the New York Americans for cash on October 9, 1935. The 5'10" and 155-pound left wing's total professional National Hockey League or NHL career stats include 500 games played, 101 goals, 103 assists, 204 points, and 419 penalties in minutes in regular season, and 37 games played, 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points, and 44 penalties in minutes in playoffs. His total amateur league hockey career stats with the Parkdale Canoe Club from 1919 to 1920 of the Ontario Hockey Association, or OHA, include 5 games played, 3 goals, 0 assists, 3 points, and 0 penalties in minutes in regular season. With the Toronto Orally from 1921 to 1923 of the Ontario Hockey Association, or OHA, include 17 games played, 13 goals, 4 assists, 17 points, and 0 penalties in minutes in regular season. With the Pittsburgh Yellow Jackets from 1923 to 1925 of the United States Amateur Hockey Association, or USAHA, include 60 games played, 14 goals, 0 assists, 14 points, and 0 penalties in minutes in regular season. And 21 games played, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points, and 0 penalties in minutes. And with the New Haven Eagles from 1936 to 1937 of the American Hockey League, or AHL, include 18 games played, 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points, and 48 penalties in minutes. He also played for the Toronto Maitlands of the Ontario Hockey Association, or OHA, but he had no games played, goals, assists, points, or penalties in minutes in the regular season or playoffs. Following his retirement from amateur and professional hockey career, he served as a scout for the Boston Bruins and the Minnesota North Stars of the National Hockey League, or NHL, before retiring from that in 1977. He passed away following a long battle with cancer at the Campbellford Memorial Hospital in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada. On September 9th, 1984, at the age of 82. Following his death, his funeral service was held at the Weaver Funeral Home in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada, and he was buried in Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada. He was married to Marion Janette Kennedy Cotton, 1902 to 1998, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on March 4th, 1925. His wife Marion survived him, passing away in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada, on January 29th, 1998, at the age of 96, and she is also buried in the Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada. The couple had one child together, a daughter named Marilyn Dorothy Cotton, last name later Murray, who was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on December 26, 1925, and who passed away in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada on February 26, 2023 at the age of 98, and who was also buried in the Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada with her husband. Hi guys, here I'm back in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada to do another video for you. You have to excuse me, it's a little blustery today and there's a glare on my camera. So I'm at the historical Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada, and I'm going to just take you up here. It's a huge cemetery, as I did the other video just for you. We visited Charles Lewis Owen, Canadian politician and entrepreneur. So I'll take you back out here to the front again, and I will show you a little bit here, and I'll tell you something about the cemetery. So, as I said, I'm here at the Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada. It's a historical cemetery. Now, the cemetery, the Mount Pleasant Cemetery, sorry, I have to find my notes here, was laid out on high land on Concession 7, Lot 10 in the year 1886. It was owned by the Reverend R.B. Denicky, and the cemetery was privately operated by him until his death in 1912. Now, the cemetery opened to other burials shortly thereafter. The first one being a Mrs. Nelson Simmons, the former Jane Finkel of Myersburg, Ontario, Canada. Now, where was I? The cemetery became managed in 1922 and continued until 1947. A vault, which you see here, was built. Now, it doesn't say what year the vault was built, but I'll take you over closer, give you a... Now, this would have been a receiving vault, where they kept the bodies until burial. I guess in the winter time, they keep them here stored, and then in the spring they would bury them. So let me just walk up this way. There's a bit up there. I'll backtrack and I'll show you the other lane, and we'll walk up to the, because who we're visiting, he's at the front of the cemetery. So the vault, I said, was built, and then the property was excavated some more. Sorry, a car going by. And concrete work was done with the front Mount Pleasant Cemetery gate added. Now, not sure when Mount Pleasant gate was put up there. I incorrectly said 1955, but that's when more land was purchased, so it could have been the same year. So, just walk up here. As I said, the cemetery is huge. Let me get out of the leaves here, get back on the road. As you can see, we're in the country. A lot of fallen trees and stuff over there. The main highway over there, or main, I don't know, back road, I guess you could say. Nice house over there. So here is the Mount Pleasant gate. It's really green. Something that goes with the trees. There is a gentleman here who just arrived to do some groundwork, so we'll get this video done so we won't get any background noise of a lawnmower or anything on it. So there's some of the rules. No solar lights. Interesting. So I'll just walk back this way and we'll do a kind of uphill tour for you guys, and then I will read you some about the person we've come to visit. So as I said, so this cemetery is still open for burials today. They have cremations, burials. There's a new columbarium niche over there that I will show you, and I will come back at a later date and I will do a more in-depth history tour on the cemetery for you. So I will start up here and we'll walk over. There's the vault, back of the vault. So we'll start over here and we'll walk to the back, and then I will tell you who we're visiting. So the noise of the, oh look, there's a Denneke. The gentleman, the Reverend Denneke, he was, must be his family, that was buried here in 1912. So, as I said, it's a big cemetery. So, starts over here, goes miles back there. There's a few veterans here as well. We'll take a look at them another day. So, back to the gentleman we're going to visit. As I check my notes here. Give me 1 minute. So, the gentleman we'll be visiting today, his name is William Harold Baldy Cotton, the professional hockey player and amateur hockey player who lived from November 5th, 1902 to September 9th, 1984. Now, he played for the Pittsburgh Pirates from 1925 to 1929, Toronto Maple Leafs from 1928 to 1935, the New York Americans from 1935 to 1937. He was a Stanley Cup champion with the Toronto Maple Leafs from 1931 to 1932. Show you a little bit more of the cemetery as we go up the hill. He also played with the Ace Bailey benefit game 1933 to 1934. He was a very popular hockey player of the time. And of course, I think he got his name Baldy because he lost his hair at an early age. So, he retired from playing hockey in 1937. He was born in Nanticoke, Ontario, Canada, and he passed away here in Campbellford, Ontario, Canada, on September 9th, 1984, at the age of 81. Now, I will tell you more about him in a later video. Let me go over here. I'll show you the war veterans, and then on the graves, and then I will take you over and I will show you the grave of William Harold Baldy Cotton, a professional hockey player and amateur hockey player. And then I will show you a little bit more around the cemetery before I end the video. So we have a few veterans over here. So maybe I would do, if there's any interesting stories that I can find, like Lieutenant Arthur Ross Ackerman, I will do we'll maybe do a video for you on one of those ones. Maybe these ones all seem like they made it home, so maybe not these gentlemen, but anyways, these are all recent ones. And then I will take you up here. I'll just get down this row, and I will show you the grave site of William Harold Baldy Cotton. Actually, I'll go over here. This is a newer section over here. So it's still open to burials, as you can see. So I'll go up here. As I walk, he's just up here. Show a little bit more of the cemetery. And then I will end the video. So he's just up here in the other section over here. Gentleman's on the phone, so I'll move away from that. Don't want to pick that up. And then I'll show you his video, or sorry, his grave, and then I will end it. So he's just up here. He's buried with his wife. I believe it's the second row. So, let's see. I'll just show you the back of this grave, and then I'll show you the front of it. Nothing really on the front, I mean the back. But there's another section over here, newer section. On. So here's the gentleman we can see. William Harold Baldy Cotton, the famous professional hockey player and amateur hockey player. Now it says married March 4th, 1925. Cotton, W. Harold Cotton, 1902 to 1984. His wife, Marion J. Kennedy, 1902 to 1998. Rest in peace. Alright guys, that's what the gentleman came to visit. I'll just take you over here as I walk back to my vehicle. Just show you a little bit more down this way of the cemetery. So this cemetery said is 137 years old. I'll take you down to the columbarium, actually, and then I'll just end it there. So guys, thank you for coming along with me on this adventure. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up button. And I'll gladly do more videos for you. I have a few good ideas. I have some more famous graves I can visit. They're probably people you never heard of, but their story's still interesting, so I'd like to bring them to you. As you can see, there's that farmer's field, nice farmer's field over there. We have actually, I'll take you down here. I'll show you this old barn that we have down here. There's the beautiful columbarium. I won't show you too many of them because they're recent deaths. So, like I said, you can see the cemetery goes on forever and ever and ever. So there's the old barn. So, again, guys and ladies, if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and give that video a thumbs up. And I will see you on the next adventure. Thank you so much. Bye now.
Baldy Cotton played 7 seasons in a Leafs uniform and was a member of the 1932 Stanley Cup squad. The Toronto Star once wrote of Baldy, "Anytime a game was going flat or sour, all Dick Irvin had to do was dump the veteran gamester over the boards." Cotton was a battler who waded in regardless of consequences. He hurled himself into the fray like a human bombshell, regardless of personal injury or the welfare of his opponents.
This great franchise had 2 significant moments during its first NHL decade. The first was in 1927, when the team was renamed the Maple Leafs. And the second was in November of 1931, when Maple Leaf Gardens was opened. That 31-32 Toronto team thrilled capacity crowds with legendary names like Horner, Clancy, and the Kid Line. Coach Dick Irvin and manager Conn Smythe had gathered together a group of tough-minded, talented players who made the Stanley Cup their ultimate goal. They won their first 2 playoff series in 2-game total goal series versus Chicago and the Maroons of Montreal. That left only the New York Rangers in their path in a best-of-5 Cup final. A series they dominated, winning 3 games to none and capturing their first Stanley Cup as the Maple Leafs.